Hello and welcome. My name is Christoph Putz and I'm your IT career guide. In today's video, I want to show you how you can find high-paying systems administrator or systems engineering jobs in your area, or if you are willing to relocate, how you can find them in different parts of the country. For this video, really, I'm going to go and do a very generic search in a way, but focus on certain areas in the state of California. And I'm picking California simply, it's a high-cost area of living. The salaries are above average compared to the rest of the United States, with some exceptions, of course. And hopefully it gives you an idea of really how it differs within the state of California, because we have the high cost and high salary areas like Palo Alto, Los Angeles, California, and San Diego. So those are the areas I'm comparing today. But before we get into the nitty-gritty, if you don't mind subscribing to my channel, I would really appreciate it. And the same thing, of course, if you like my video, please give it a thumbs up. It will help me with the YouTube algorithm. Before we get into the search, I really want to point out that this is a generic search. I'm working with averages. I am not looking necessarily at the level of education that is required. I'm not looking at certain skill set. I'm not looking at any educational requirements or even, let's say, security clearance as an example. So it's a generic search. I want to encourage you to go deep with these type of searches and look at the job descriptions, because that's really the important part that helps you to identify, okay, where do you fit in? Or when you start looking for planning out your career a little bit, okay, this is where I want to end up. And then look at the job titles. Each company can pick a different job title, even for the same type of work. And so it's not always that easy to compare. Use a generic search to start and then drill in and really identify what the options are. So in this example, I'm doing a very generic search for a Windows Systems Engineer title, and I'm searching within the state of California. You can see here it brings up certain salary information for systems administrator, system engineer, senior systems engineer, IT systems engineer. You can already tell there is a variance in the job titles. So as you go down this search path, you really want to try different job titles, look at the different job ads, and just identify what is relevant to your experience, to your education, and to the position that you want to obtain. But let's take a look here. So you can see the systems administrator comes in as $82,499 per year. Again, this is very generic across California. It's an average. Same thing with the system engineer for $113,187, and then a senior systems engineer, $133,083. An IT systems engineer, very similar to the system engineer, with $110,528. So now we're going to take this search a step further, and we're using a more specific location. Now we're doing exactly the same search. We're looking at the Windows Systems Engineer job title, but we're looking at Los Angeles, California. So here the system administrator comes in at $92,224. If I go back one screen, you can see that the previous pay, the average pay, was $82,499. So there is already an increase due to the location. The systems engineer, however, comes in at $110,000. So this is lower compared to before, where we did the generic search and the system engineer came in at $113,000. The senior system engineer here in Los Angeles comes in at $136,059. We were at roughly $133,000 before, so it's not a significant jump compared to the systems administrator. So the lower end seems to have a larger increase compared to the higher end, meaning the senior system engineer. The IT systems engineer comes in at $90,000. Previously, that was shown as $110,528. So that is most likely not comparable. So meaning there is a difference that probably has to do with the type of position. And this could be that a system engineer could also be in other areas of IT. So be it in software development or in hardware related areas. So just be aware. So you have to go deep and really look at the job title and what is exactly the job description and how does it compare. So, but it gives you a base idea. Systems administrator went up by roughly $10,000, and the senior systems engineer also went up slightly. So you see a trend here. Los Angeles is more expensive for employers, but you also, as an employee, you get a higher salary, but it comes with a price, and that's the high cost of living in Los Angeles. Now we're going to take a look at the same job title, Windows Systems Engineer in Palo Alto, California. You know exactly where that is. That is the Bay Area. It's very expensive up there, and that is reflected in the salaries here. If you look at the systems administrator, it comes in at $121,521. So that is significantly higher than the 83 or 92,000 that we had previously. So that is a dramatic increase, but keep in mind the cost of living in Palo Alto is significantly higher compared to Los Angeles or the average of California. The senior systems engineer comes in at $150,000, so that's an increase of roughly $14,000 per year. Again, that has to do with the localization, meaning Palo Alto is very more expensive, and it's reflected in this higher salary. The IT systems engineer, however, has the biggest jump here, and it goes to $185,000. And that's really, again, where you have to look at the job description. So this could really be that it's more like in software development and not necessarily infrastructure-related systems engineer. So pay close attention to the job description. There's also the option, and I'm guessing at the moment, I have not researched this, it could be that if you look at companies like Google, Amazon, Facebook, they have a lot of cloud operations, and that the IT systems engineer position fits into that, and that would explain the higher salary. Cloud, as an example, is an area that pays above average compared to a regular infrastructure systems engineer. And last but not least, I'm taking a look here at the Windows Systems Engineer in San Diego, California. San Diego is a little cheaper compared to Los Angeles, and it is reflected in the prices here. The Systems Administrator is just halfway through between the generic search and the search results for Los Angeles. So here it comes in at $86,398. The Systems Engineer in the $107,000 range. The Senior Systems Engineer, very comparable with the $130,000. IT Systems Engineer is most likely really where this number should be. It's comparable to the System Engineer here. So I hope that gives you an idea really what you can do with the different searches. So play with the variations in location, and then also identify the job titles so that you can go down deep and identify, okay, what is really the job title I'm looking for? And how can you go deep and then identify, okay, this is what I want, and then really do a search. And keep in mind, each company has a different idea of how they sometimes label these type of positions. So from my different searches, you can see really how it varies, and that even some salaries went down, and you really have to go into the job description and what are the companies posting to identify why is that the reason. And then, of course, depending on which area in IT you are at, you can do this with any type of area, be it help desk jobs, any type of systems infrastructure, network engineering, software engineers. So you can do this with any type of job title. Also play with the level of experience. So if you would put the word senior into the search, you're searching for a senior systems engineer or senior systems administrator or senior IT manager, senior director. You can play with that and then get more data back and collect the data, and it will really help you in tweaking your resume, looking that you match up with what the job description requires, and then hopefully have a very successful job search application process in landing that new job with the higher salary that you're looking for. So I hope you liked this video. If you liked it, please give it a thumbs up. Again, if you have not subscribed to my channel, please do so as well. I really appreciate it. And then I hope to see you in my next video. Thank you for watching and have a great day. Bye-bye.